Hello everyone, my name is Ramnis and welcome to my guide for beginners on Summoner. This guide is meant for your average casual player who is not interested in optimization but just wants to understand their job better and perform decently in dungeon content. I will be going over the spells and what they do, and then we'll look at it, how it all comes together. Again, if you're looking for ways to improve your parse or play at the top levels, this guide might not be for you. With that being said, let's get into the Summoner. The Summoner is a unique job in which it shares the same class as the Scholar. What this means is that both jobs start off as an Arcanist, but at level 30 you get to learn the Summoner and the Scholar. Summoner being the magical DPS role, and Scholar being the barrier shield healer. No matter which job you decide to focus on though, the other will level at the same time. The Summoner got a pretty huge overall in Endwalker, and the job plays completely different now. Pre-Endwalker, the Summoner had damage over time spells and focused weaving the Summoner spells with your pet spells. It also included a 2-minute long opener that intimidated a lot of people into even trying to be good with the Summoner. That's me, I'm people. In Endwalker, they completely overhauled the job into being more in line with the Summoner fantasy that those who play the other games in the franchise are familiar with. Now, the job focuses on summoning your badass primals, having them do their super big awesome attack, and then having the Summoner use spells with that affinity. I love this new iteration of Summoner. It feels more streamlined, and I finally feel like I'm summoning gods themselves to come aid me in the fight. So with all that being said, let's get into the spells and how they work with each other. Alright, now let's get into the spells. So for your first 30 levels, it's not going to be too complicated. You're going to want to focus on Ruin, which is your main damage dealing spell. Also, it's your filler when you've got nothing else to do. You'll also learn Summon Carbuncle, which is going to be your vessel to your future summons. And then you'll start getting, Summon Ruby, Summon Topaz, and Summon Emerald, which then later on become Ifrit, Titan, and Garuda. And then the last two spells in your first 30 spells that I want to point out is Gemshine and Precious Brilliance. Every time you summon one of either Ruby, Topaz, or Emerald, Gemshine and both Precious Brilliance are going to turn into different spells. They're gonna, depending on what you have summoned, they're gonna turn into a damage dealing spell with that attunement. So when you summon when you summon the Ruby Carbuncle, Gemshine and Precious Brilliance will turn into fire dealing spells. The only difference between the two is that Gemshine will be your single target attack and Precious Brilliance will be your AoE. That's really all you gotta focus on for the first 30 levels in your first couple dungeons. After that, it kind of becomes a little bit more of the same, except you get Summon Ifrit. But first, let's look at how those spells come into play in a dungeon setting. Alright, so I have my Carbuncle out. First thing I'm going to do is hit Aether Charge. That's going to start the Carby gauge, as I like to call it. While it's counting down there, you see I'm spamming my Ruin 2 ability that Ruin 1 turns into at level 30. And now, once the Carby gauge is done, it's going to unlock my Elemental Carbuncle summons. Now you can summon any of them as you want, whenever you want. I summoned Emerald here first, and that's going to turn Gemshine and Precious Brilliance into instant cast spells. Same thing with your Topaz summon. That's going to give you instant cast spells. Ruby is going to turn your Gemshine and Precious Brilliance into timed cast spells. So if you think you might have to do a lot of movement, you might want to save Ruby for when you can stand still. And that's honestly pretty much it. So yeah, that's basically what you want to be looking out for in your dungeons pre-level 30. And like I said, it's very simple. You are basically just focused on hitting your Aether Charge, getting that countdown going for the Carby gauge, and then once your 3 elementals unlock, you want to summon them in, again, any order. It doesn't really matter. And then using those corresponding spells that Gemshine and Precious Brilliance turns into. After level 30, it kind of becomes the same, except now your carbuncles summons turn into little mini versions of the primals. So Ruby turns into Ifrit, Topaz turns into Titan, and Emerald turns into Garuda at level 45. You also get some neat little spells like Pain Flare, which is an AoE. But then the next major point in your rotation becomes level 70 when you can summon Bahamut. So summon Bahamut, well, before we talk about summon Bahamut, a few levels before that, 58, you get a Dreadworm Trance. This will be what Aether Charge turns into. So at level 58, you don't have Aether Charge anymore. Now you have Dreadworm Trance. This basically allows your Ruin to be turned into Ruin 3, or turns your Ruin 3 into Astral Impulse, and then Outburst to Astral Flare. So basically, you're going to want to do the same thing you've been doing, popping Dreadworm Trance, and then you will get Ruin 3 will turn into a special thing, and also Astral Flow will also turn into that as well, or a new move that you can do. So level 70 is Summon Bahamut. So basically, at level 70, when you enter Dreadworm Trance, you will summon Bahamut. So again, Dreadworm Trance will turn into Summon Bahamut. So you will not see this on your bar anymore. You'll just see Summon Bahamut. And this will be the starting point of your rotation. And then once you summon Bahamut, you'll go into Astral Flow. And Astral Flow will just do a huge like special attack. You can kind of think of Astral Flow as like a special attack. You do the special attack, and then you'll want to be doing Enkindle Bahamut, which has a 20-second cooldown, so you're not going to spam that. And then you're going to do what Ruin 3 will turn into after summoning Bahamut. So let's just that part, let's see what that looks like. So you're gonna summon Bahamut, and this is the first thing you do. You summon Bahamut, that gauge goes, you want a Death Flare, then you want to Enkindle, and then you spam Astral Pulse. Ruin 3 will turn into Astral Pulse. So this is what you want to do until your gauge runs out. And then once your gauge runs out, it's going to start looking really familiar to you. Your gems will show up. But before we do that, let's just see. So yeah, summon Bahamut, it'll unlock your thing, and then you can go into your I'm summoning Garuda. I'm using Garuda's special ability, and then I'm gonna spam what Gemshine turned into Emerald Right. And then once that's all depleted, then I'm gonna go into my Titan phase. And again, you're seeing the big Titans right now because I'm level 90. But at level 70, you're gonna be seeing the mini versions of those. So that's basically what you're gonna be doing, and then you go into Ifrit, right? And then you use up Ifrit's moves until he goes away. And now the next step is a high level thing, so I'm not going to get into that right now, just so that we can all stay on the same page and not confuse. So yeah, from levels until level 70, that's basically what you're going to be doing. And then from 70 all the way until 80, you'll kind of repeat that, and then at level 80 you get Summon Phoenix. So Summon Phoenix, you're going to do basically the exact same thing. You're going to want to summon you want to summon your Phoenix. You're going to use Everlasting Flight, which is Phoenix's special move. You know how we were talking about here, you use your summons special move down here. You're going to use that, and then you're going to want to use Enkindle Phoenix, just like we used Enkindle Bahamut. And then Enkindle Bahamut down here, my number 2 will turn into Enkindle Phoenix. And then you just want to spam Revelation, which is what your main spam ability is going to turn into. And then you're going to do that until the Phoenix's gauge runs out, and then it will then unlock your 3 gems again, and then you go into summoning your primals once again. So let's just see what that looks like. Summoning my Phoenix using Rekindle, Enkindle Phoenix, and then spamming Fountain of Fire. Until my gauge runs out, and then again I am summoning Garuda using Garuda's special move Slipstream, and then I am spamming Emerald Right. Again, you'll spam Emerald Right for a single target, and you'll spam Emerald Catastrophe for AoE. And then Garuda's gone, so I'm doing Titan. Now Titan's special move is pretty interesting. You'll use Topaz Right and then immediately Mountain Buster. So you kind of want to alternate between Topaz Right and then Mountain Buster. Topaz Right, Mountain Buster. So it adds a little flavor to it. That's Titan's rotation, so to speak. And then again, you'll want to go into Summon Ifrit. Now Summon Ifrit's special ability is a gap closer. So you'll want to maybe cast, if you can, you want to do Crimson Cyclone, which is a gap closer, and then immediately follow it again with that same button, Crimson Strike, and you'll do a little melee cool attack. And then you can finish off Ifrit's moves like that. And then once that phase is complete, you're back here to Bahamut's gauge. So you're just going to repeat it again. You're going to summon Bahamut, go through Bahamut's moves. It'll unlock your gems. You want to summon your primals in any order that you want. And then you're just going to use up their moves while they're out. And then once that's gone, and you summon your last summon, Phoenix will be available. Then you'll want to do your Phoenix, do the moves, and then do it again, and then rinse and repeat. So let's just see, like, now that you have Phoenix, and now that you have Phoenix, you basically have your full rotation up. At 90, the really only differences when you get to 90 is that you get access to your big boys, your big gods. You get access to summon Garuda 2, summon Titan 2, and summon Ifrit 2. And that just gives you a more powerful version, the versions that you have been seeing me demonstrate. So as we close out this video, let me just kind of go through the entire motions and explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And I'll try to go a little slow here, just so that everyone can catch up. Obviously, you're going to set up your bar however you want. I always have Gem Shine and Precious Brilliance right next to each other. I know my number 5 on my mouse is my single attack, and then I know number 6 on my mouse is the AoE, and then number 4 is going to be that Primal's special ability. So to start off, we have our Carbuncle off. We're gonna summon Bahamut, do Death Flare, and then I'm gonna Enkindle Bahamut. It's gonna do Akmorn, and then I'm just gonna spam Astral Impulse. And I'm gonna do that until Bahamut's gauge goes down, and then I'm gonna summon Garuda. I'm gonna use Slipstream, which leaves a little AoE thing on the floor there, and then I'm going to spam Emerald Right. Or I guess Slipstream didn't go off, but that's okay. So let me just show you what Slipstream looks like. So yeah, you're going to want to do this first, and then Slipstream will leave that there. And then once Garuda's gone, you're going to do Summon Titan. And again, you're going to do Topaz right, and then immediately do Mountain Buster to do that little rock clap. Topaz right, Mountain Buster. And you're just going to alternate between those two. And then once Titan's gone and you have no more abilities, you do Summon Ifrit. And again, you're going to want to do the Gap Closer and then your Book Smash. And then you want to do the Ruby Right. And then you do that until Ifrit's gone. And look, Summon Phoenix is available, so you're going to want to Summon Phoenix. Rekindle will give you and your party an a heal over time, which is very helpful. Lots of utility there. And then you'll want to Enkindle Phoenix and then spam Fountain of Fire. And then once Phoenix is gone, you're going to go again through Summoning Garuda, leaving Slipstream, Emerald Right, Emerald Right, Emerald Right, Summon Titan, Topaz Right, Mountain Buster, Topaz Right, Mountain Buster, Topaz Right, Mountain Buster. And then I got one more Topaz Right and Mountain Buster. And then I'm going to summon Ifrit. I started off with Ruby Right. I didn't have to, but I just did that. And then the Book Smash, and then finish off Ruby Right. And that's gonna be your rotation. It's very satisfying to me. It's a really nice loop. I love the loop aspect of it. It definitely feels like a very solid rotation. I know exactly what's gonna do. Like, you know, I know exactly what I'm gonna do next. I know I'm gonna summon Bahamut. I know then after Bahamut it's going to be my elementals, and then after my elementals it's going to be Phoenix, and then Phoenix it's going to be elementals again, and that completes the loop, and then I just start all over again. Summoner is very, now in Endwalker, Summoner I think is very streamlined, and it's just super, you know, friendly if you kind of just want to do decent damage. And also, you know, perform well without like sweating. I think Summoner is a really great job for that. And then another thing I kind of want to point out is Searing Light. This is just an increase of damage for you and your party members for 30 seconds, and it'll increase damage by 3%. And you kind of just want to have this on cooldown. Anytime you see it's up, you should be pressing that. And then when you're not in any elemental phases, you've got your ruins, and that's you're gonna use that anytime you're not able to do any summoning, which isn't too much, honestly. Like, I think even at my fastest, I was only able to pop like 2 or 3 ruins before Bahamut was available again after Phoenix, you know what I mean? And then Pain Flare is the same thing, but it's an AoE, so you'll want to do Pain Flare. Well, I'm just kidding, scratch that. Try Disaster is your AoE. Pain Flare is an AoE, but you have this gauge here, which is your Aether Flow gauge, and you get Aether Flow by using Energy Siphon. And you can use attacks like Pain Flare, which cost 1 of these. Again, that's basically it on the Summoner. It's not too complicated. If you have any questions, you can definitely leave them down below in the comments. Also, I stream on Twitch every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. You can always pop in there on twitch.tv/Romnus. and ask me any questions you want. We are very question-friendly community. And yeah, if you like this guide, please let me know. This is my first guide. I know it's a little bit scuffed, but just like the video, comment down below, or subscribe and let me know what you like, what you didn't like. I will be taking all and any constructive criticism and let me know how I can improve and how these guides can better suit your playstyle. I just know that there has been a lot of requests, at least in my circle, for very, stripped down guides that are not about optimization and not about doing the best you can, doing the best of the best, but just how do I do decently in a dungeon and not piss off my party members. So that's kind of like what I want this channel to become. It's just somewhere where casuals and beginners alike can find comfort in the guides and be a little bit more confident in dungeon content. So again, let me know what I can improve on, and I will see you next time.